everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a blessed December. Today my daughter and I decided to make some ornaments to give as gifts. So I thought I would bring you guys along and show you how we're gonna do it. We've been kind of making several different gifts for the holidays to give to our family and friends. We've made dog treats for them, and we've made some homemade all-natural chapsticks, and I made some beard oil for my husband and stuff. So we're kind of on the DIY gift-giving extravaganza, I suppose. So I thought I'd bring you guys along. All right, so for these salt dough ornaments, we're gonna need 1 cup of tap water, 1 cup of table salt, and 2 cups of all-purpose white flour. And we're gonna go ahead and preheat our oven to 200 degrees. All right, so I'm just gonna add my salt to my flour, give it a little bit of a mix. And then I'm gonna add my 1 cup of water. And we're just gonna mix it up until it's all mixed thoroughly. If you need to add a little bit more flour, you can do that. But we want a nice consistency that's gonna be easy to work with. We don't want it to be sticky or gooey, but we don't want it to be too dry either. All right, so we have mixed our dough thoroughly. So it should be just like a regular cookie dough or whatever. You don't want it to be sticky. If it's sticking to your hands, add more flour, but ours looks good. And I'm just going to go ahead and roll it out on my clean counter. So I've got my rolling pin. And we're gonna roll this out just like we would cookies, maybe 1/4 of an inch thick or so. I probably should have cut it in half first so I didn't have to roll so much. That's okay. My dough all rolled out. It's about 1/4 inch thick or so, and I want to have some round ornaments, and I don't have a circle cookie cutter, so I'm going to just use a wide mouth canning jar to do mine. So I'm going to make a bunch of circles, and my daughter wants to make a dog one, so she's got a dog bone, and she's going to also be using a star. So we're gonna just go ahead and get started with cutting these out. I didn't do it the sharp side. Oops. Oh wait, hold on. Do you want to make these with the sparkles? Mm-hmm. Okay, so don't cut these out yet. We'll do those separately. Okay. So we got a dog one, and then let's go ahead and make some. So the jars are a little bit funny because they're not sharp, obviously, but it should do the trick. Yeah, it works. All right, so that's good. We gotta leave some dough for your stars. So I am using a toothpick, and I'm just making some holes in the tops to put our string or ribbon, whatever we're going to use. And I've got one already there in the top of the doggy treat. You could also use a straw or, you know, whatever you have laying around, but this was a little bit nicer, I thought. As long as you don't mind that every hole isn't exactly the same. my daughter wanted to make some sparkly star ornaments. So I've got the remainder of our dough here, which probably I don't need that much, but we'll just make whatever is left we'll make with sparkles. So I'm just gonna pour in a bunch of sparkles. She chose silver glitter. I guess I could say glitter instead of sparkles. And I'm gonna mix it in to the dough. Let's see how much we need. Let's put a little bit more, shall we? By a little bit, I mean a lot bit. Alright, I don't know how well that shows up on the camera, but we got a bunch of pretty sparkles in here. So we're gonna roll this out again and cut out some stars. Probably good. All right, so let's go ahead and peel off all the extra dough. So if you have parchment paper, it's a really good idea to roll this out on parchment paper because it makes it a lot easier to pull them up off the counter without messing up their shape. Unfortunately, I'm out of parchment paper, so we're doing the best we can to not squish them as we pick them up. I'm using a spatula to scrape them up, but it's still pretty hard. So definitely if you have parchment paper, I'd recommend rolling it out on those. All right, so our ornaments are all ready to go in the oven. So I'm gonna put these in the oven for about 2 hours at 200 degrees. All right, so I had the ornaments in the oven for an hour and a half, and I just took them out and I flipped them over, and now I set the timer for another hour and a half, and then they should be ready. Yay, so our ornaments are completely done baking, and they are ready to be decorated. They look great. They look like cookies, and so we're all wanting to taste, but we know they're not quite edible. But we are going to go ahead and decorate these next. All right, so now that our ornaments are all done baking and cooled, I'm just going to put a light coat of Mod Podge on them all, and I'm using this kind of Mod Podge with the matte finish. And I'm just putting it on with a bristle brush. And then I'm gonna let this dry for about half an hour, and then we can hopefully decorate, hopefully start to decorate them. All right, so we're working on decorating the ornaments now, and I am using pencil to write on these and just kind of freehanding. So these ones are kind of a trio, and I've got faith, hope, and love in pencil, and then I'm using these paint markers to go over my pencil. So I just picked a couple of them up in Sharpie in different size And then I had this from years ago. I don't even, from when I was a kid, my mom bought this and it still works. So that's a really sweet marker. But so I'm working on these 3 and we've got several left to go. So we're just going to go ahead and keep doing these with pencil. The nice thing is because they have the Mod Podge on there, it erases really easily. So if you mess it up, you can just try again before you go in with your markers. And then once they're all done and dry, we'll seal them again with the Mod Podge. And oh, and for to hang them, we had got this ribbon at Joann today. They had a sale. They were $3.99. Buy one get 3 free. So we just picked up several colors of this stuff. It's a little bit thick, but I think it looks pretty good. I think it's gonna work. And you can always, if it's too thick, like she needed a thinner for her dog bone ornament, so we there's 3 strands together, so we just unwound it and used one for that one. And yeah, and for fun, while we were at Hobby Lobby, we picked up a couple of these wood coasters. My husband said he would cut me some for ornaments, but who knows how long that could take. I'm sure Christmas will be over before he does. So I just picked up a couple of these, and you know, you always have coupons when you go in there, so they are kind of expensive compared to buying them like on Amazon or something, but I wanted to make just a couple for today. So I did Let It Snow on this one, and did the white paint. I used just like ceiling paint that you would paint on your ceiling, so it was nice flat color. And then I did the Let It Snow in black, and then used the silver for the stars, and same with the Merry and Bright one. And then I just used these to hang them. So I think they turned out pretty cool. So I just finished painting these 3, and so that you can get kind of a size, these are probably about 2 to 2.5 inches. I didn't measure, but that's what I'm guessing. And then I used the fine point. They have a bunch of different sizes of these Sharpies. They have different brands too, but I just went with Sharpie. And I used the fine one for this, and it worked really, really good. I'm super happy with how they turned out, especially since I freehanded this, and I'm really not that great of a writer, so it turned out really good. My advice to you, if you're doing it for the first time, would be just to go slow. Don't be in a rush. Just go slow and stop whenever you need to. That would be my best advice if you're new at using these like I am. So I've actually never used these kind of markers before. So yeah, and for the wood one, for a size comparison, it's a lot bigger, and I used the bigger marker for this one, which is the medium point is what it's called. So this big one, I used the medium point, and I used the fine point for this smaller one. So all right, 3 more down. I think I'm gonna leave them just like this, Mod Podge them, and I gotta pick out a color of ribbon to go with this. Probably, I'm not sure. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some more decorating. All right, so we are ready to do our final coat of Mod Podge and seal these. So I'm just using the same brush I did before, and I'm just gonna try to do kind of a thin coat. And I'm not really gonna focus on the sides or anything now because I already did those earlier. So this is basically just to kind of seal our design on so the paint doesn't get scratched off. So it goes on a little bit white, but just like we put our first coat on, it goes clear afterward. So, and then we'll let this dry for about 20-30 minutes. And all right, here is our finished ornaments. So I have a few laid out. I'm gonna give these 3 as a set, and then we've got a few of these. I found these boxes at the dollar store at Dollar Tree, and I thought they would work perfect for ornament boxes. So I put a little piece of tape here so that they would stay shut, but then I've just put a few of the ornaments inside that we're gonna gift. I need to pick up a couple more of these boxes, but then the bottom we have the wood ornaments in there. So we've got 3 ornaments in each box, including the big wooden one, and with some tissue paper. But we're super happy with how they turned out, and we hope that they make good gifts, that the recipients like them. I'm sure they will. So that is what the ornaments look like. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram so that you can stay up to date with all of the happenings over here, and to keep up with all of the photos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.